welcome back again. Before we proceed, I'm going to verify the part to review what has been completed so far. I'm going to move up to the top of the screen and click on the icon for isometric view, and then just slide off to the left and click on Screen Fit. Over in the Toolpath Manager, I'm going to click on the icon to select all operations, and next, just to the right, I'm going to click on Verified Selected Operations. Now the speed I'm going to set to midway. I've turned on Simulate Tool and Holder. I'm just going to move into Configure just to check that I've got a check mark against Change Tool Color, which I have, so everything looks good here. I'm going to click OK. Moving up to the top, I'm going to hit the Machine button. First up, we face the top of the part. Next, we're machining the part to 0.325 thick and also machining around the 2-inch island. Next up, we're spot drilling the holes. Next, we're center drilling the bolt hole circle. Following this, we're going to drill the 3/16 holes right through the part. This is a tap drill operation prior to our tapping operation, which we're doing right now. And that's what we've completed so far. I'm going to click on the green OK check mark. Now in this video, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch diameter flat end mill to rough and finish the triangular shaped pockets, and the pocket depth is 1/4 inch. So let's get started. Before we move on, just over on the left hand side in the Toolpath Manager, I'm going to collapse Operation 7. I'm going to click on this minus sign. Now, moving up to the top of the screen, I'm going to go into Toolpaths and pick Pocket Toolpath. Now I'm prompted to select Pocket Chain 1, and on the left hand side the chaining dialog box appears. What I'd like to do first is to get a top view of this part. Now to satisfy this prompt, select Pocket Chain 1. I'm going to move on down and pick this line in the right triangular pocket. Then move on down to the left. I'm going to pick this line. Now we need to climb mill these pockets, and this arrow on this lower pocket is pointing the wrong direction for climb milling. So I'm just going to slide over to the left and click on the reverse button. So everything's looking good now. We're done. I'm going to click on OK. Now we need to select the 1/2 inch end mill. I'm going to click on the Select Library Tool button and then locate a 1/2 inch diameter end mill. And there it is. I've clicked on it. We're done. Next up, I'm going to click on OK. A few things to change here. First up, the feed rate. I'm going to change that to 10. The plunge rate, likewise, change that to 10 inches a minute. And the spindle speed, I'm going to crank up to 3000 RPM. Rapid retract is turned on, and the coolant is also turned on as well. Next up, let's move to the second page, Pocketing Parameters. Now the clearance is an absolute, set at 2, that's good. And I've also got a check mark against use clearance only at the start and end of operation. Retract is on, that's set at 0.6 in absolute, good. The feed plane is set to 0.6 in absolute, that's great. Top of stock is at 0.5. I'm going to change that to 0.325, and it's also in absolute. For the depth, I'm going to change that to 0.075. Now sliding over to the left, for the pocket type, I'm going to open up this drop down and change it to standard. Just to the right, I'm going to activate depth of cuts, and now I'm going to click on the depth of cuts button. For my maximum rough step, I'm going to change that to 0.125, and for the finish step I'm going to leave it at 50 thou, and also I'm going to check mark keep tool down. Everything looks good here. We're done. I'm going to click on the OK button. Next up, we're going to move to Roughing Finishing Parameters page. Starting at the top, we've got it set to rough. For the cutting method, I'm going to change it to constant overlap spiral. The step over percentage, I'm going to leave it at 75%, and also minimize tool burial and spiral inside to out have check marks on them. Down below, finish is checked. For the spacing though, I'm going to change it from 30 thou to 15 thou. Just below, finish outer boundary is turned on, and I'm going to check mark keep tool down. Also, just to the right, I'm going to check mark machine finish passes only at final depth. We've got a check mark against lead in, lead out, and I'm just going to move into lead in, lead out, and I've got my entry set at 75%, and also the exit is set to 75%, so it looks good here. I'm going to click on the OK button. Everything looks good here. I'm going to click OK. Over on the left, I'm going to click on Select All Operations, and I'm going to select Alt-T on my keyboard to unhide the toolpath lines. Well, that completes this video. Thanks for watching.